We go. All right, there I am, and I guess we are still live. It says we're still broadcasting. That really didn't look like 5 minutes, but it says 5:27, so it must be. Again, welcome to the Ant with the Megaphone Rant Review, RANT Review, and we are just again testing out. Even though our first day of November we wanted to come back to rebroadcast, we're testing out. The Rant Review will be a call-in program if you like. All of our programs allow you to make a comment on your respective social media platform that you're watching. Any one of the three Facebook accounts, the YouTube account, or the Periscope account, and we will see it here on our general chat comment screen, which we can individually bring up your comment if you like and show it to you. You might do it, show it to you on the screen so you'll know that you're being addressed. I'm very poor eyesight, so most times I will try, unless it's a bunch, which we don't expect, bunch, we will post them on the screen so I can also read them better. So anything you'd like to know that we can. As you know, we try not to talk about politics or sports, even though today's a big Saints Day, playing against the Bears, as they call it. Hopefully, we can pull this one out, even though the Bears are doing fairly well. We've been up and down this year. And we also, obviously, politics is on everyone's mind, but that's relegated to all the other calls, talk shows. Um, if you want to talk about something locally, about post hurricane, I understand. And I'm hoping that more and more of you people are getting your electricity back because we've been watching the grid provided by energy, and there's been some significant improvement. There's still some areas, New Orleans East and all, that still need correction. So this is like the fifth day. I really feel for you folks. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it, and hopefully they'll get to you. I don't know what you're doing to address. So if you want to call up and tell us if you're without, of course, I don't know how you call us, but your phone works and you want to call us up and we can put you on. You can let us know how you're faring through the situation, especially if you don't have the usual resources that or utilities normally take for granted. Again, this is Bob Bockelman, Rant Review. We'll wait a few more minutes on that. We'll talk a few more general minutes, see if anyone comes on, either by comment. All of our shows you can do comments. This is the only show, if I've got it configured correctly, that you can do call. And it's not that we don't want calls at the end of the comment. The problem is that we haven't retested it. Um, when we have a guest on, which is, like I say, 90% of our programming, it can't handle the calls and the guests. And even though you see and hear the guests themselves when they first come on, when the callers come in, there's a drop of audio between usually the caller and the guest. I think that's the only big pattern we've noticed. I don't know how to resolve that. Again, I'm not a software tech, know nothing about software, barely know about hardware. So our system developers, address things as they can. I have complained about it over the months. And some of it was relegated to Apple, not that we want to continue to describe Apple, but our software was designed for Android systems and adapted for the Apple. So that was where some of the more common problems were when they got Apple on, was an audio problem. And it seemed, for us, it seemed to be related to only when we try and do guests, allow callers to call in. Today, as we mentioned, is All Saints Day. Those who are not familiar are not religious in Louisiana, especially Acadia, is traditionally a day to visit the resting place of your loved ones or friends. And also, many people they have the old time tombs instead of the mausoleums that do all the taking the situation. They would actually restore freshly painted. It was like a real chore. They would do that like the day before, the week before, so that when they came, it was in prayers. It would be bright and cheery, look fresh, not only themselves but anyone else going to in cemetery mausoleums don't require that name. And so it's a great tradition. It really is. Probably not as well frequented or frequented as it was in my past. But I'm so old that was in those days when people did a lot of other things that not really. Again, it's Saints football. If anyone wants to, hey, I've got a couple of people at Periscope. Would love to hear from you. You can try calling the number 504-383-3654. That's our standard number. If you don't mind, if you don't have to pay for the charges, we would love to test out to see if we can bring you up. But please don't be frustrated if this old man, haven't set it up properly since I don't have my assistant, whatever the proper terminology of someone who's much more skilled at this type of work, other than being not afraid of being in front of a camera. So give us a call, as we said, we'd love to comment up and address any of the situations. The other day when we tested it out ago without this, lady asked, "How do you say your name?" So I had to explain our last name on my side is German Dutch. Some of the family has two N's, some use different pronunciations, but we have a silent E in the beginning. It's Bockelman. So it's 10 letters, difficult to spell and difficult to pronounce, and you see it right. But I don't know if she was looking up to send me a threatening letter to get off the air, old man, or whether she was going to be just being nice. But we really appreciated it. And I've forgotten her handle. There's something with lady in it. Right why I'm saying her. Anyway, if you wish to call us, 504-383-3654. We'll be glad to entertain the call. If it's a subject I know about, then I'll be happy to discuss it. Or you can put it, if you can't reach us through the phone because of whatever reason, mainly me, please type it on your social media thought platform, Texas, and we'll be glad to put it up, discuss it, etc. I know you have, let's say I'll be just over exaggerate, say you have millions of other choices, but today it seems like you have that many opportunities because the World Wide Web is really worldwide and you can go anywhere and pick up anything or watch anything you want or don't care to watch. Since we're normally our long-winded programs, people today do not have that ability to give either the time or the interest. So they might come on and then get right back off. Test out the water. Just happen upon it. We would love for you to become a viewer of some of our programs. If you're not familiar with all of our variety, you could go to YouTube and again look for our channel if you're not a subscriber, or space REVUE. Have been historical because we go back to 2000 when our first show, Restaurant Review, was on local cable television. Artist Review was also maybe 10 years old, not 15. Then we were on another internet station before we decided to do it DIY, do it yourself. So if you want to see any of the other programs, you just see what, because we do have artists, we have restaurant chefs around the world, man, not just locally. We have literature programs for people who readers review. We have real estate. We have travel. All of them, most of them, excuse me, started with R. A few of our exceptions are Know Your Nonprofit, whereby we bring to you a nonprofit, usually the local ones, even though we solicit any areas that want to come on. And remember, the big key here is all of our programs are under. There's no charge. So you're getting a 1 hour infomercial, however you want to identify it. but exposure for your service that will be on YouTube permanently. These others for a limited time, and you can use that link in any of your marketing. So, if nothing else, the nonprofits should be jumping at this, especially in today's world where it's so difficult to get dollars. And other than them doing themselves, it's easier to do what we're doing here. But why not just be a guest as opposed to creating the whole thing, which, like I said, it's not only the on camera presence, but the technical part of broadcasting. Seems simple, especially if you're a guest and you just got a phone or your laptop. But when you got to do all these setups and lighting and da 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 da, and that makes it a little bit more problematic. Anyway, we see we got a couple people. Periscope, please join us. Give us a comment. Let us know who you are, at least by handle, and anything we can do to interest you or talk about it. Can't reach our phone number 504-383-3654. Send us a comment on our open comment on your social media platform by text, and we will certainly bring it to the attention of the audience and or hopefully be able to answer if there's a question. Um, we appreciate all those, few that we have, because we have been absent from broadcasting for X number of months during the virus and construction and other several other reasons that you don't want to be bothered with. Um, we're hoping to get people to send it. If you would like to send us some topics for to be discussed on Rant Review during the week, it's Bob. The email is Bob at revue.net. Or you can contact me on any one of the three Facebook or the Instagram account. The Instagram, The New Deal. Facebook under Bob Bockelman, Bockelman, well, The New Deal, and New Orleans TV Internet Network. So those are all Fabergé accounts. Fabergé. Facebook, which is what Fabergé, Facebook account. So if you want to send anything or talk about anything, hear anything in the future on any of our shows, just hit me up with email on messenger text, Facebook. Glad to entertain. We see we got a lot of calls in our absence, but obviously I don't want to call those numbers back. I'm not sure if they were dialing, but if they were dialing that number, I don't think it should be registered. It's not registered on my phone, so it's hopefully not all of those. There were like 23 calls during the period we've been off. I don't recognize any of the numbers because it gives the number only, not the title or the name or the address of the caller. So I don't know if those were all robocalls to our number, which everyone knows happens at least 3 or 4 times in my cell phone a day. So we don't want to just arbitrarily call those numbers. But if you are one of those unfortunate people who tried to reach us during that period, please call again, 504-383-3654. See if we can get you on this morning or in the future, and text. Let's see, we've been on about, give it a couple more minutes and we'll probably shut it down. I'm going to be periodically, for those who wanted to know what I was personally doing during, besides its construction, not myself, of the house and my courtyard, backyard, I finally took the time to start visualizing a hopefully more attractive concept to me. First step was to take the back wall, which is a concrete wall, concrete block wall with a 2 foot high, 6 foot high wall, but in front of it, 2 block height, a little flower bed that runs 31 feet length of the back. This our lots, we call them, were really a little pieces of property, and decided to put all white, different flower plant in there. Uh, some of them did not. We seem to have most luck with, I guess it's a wildflower called Ruella, Ruella. People know it as Mexican. On both the dwarf, meaning small, and then the regular size, about 2 to 3 feet. And we've been very successful. At least I can greet myself with those white flowers blooming all over. but I had luck with some of the hibiscus. Some grow, haven't given flowers, but some of them have. Hydrangeas, we've got a couple of hydrangeas. The calla lilies, unfortunately, died. I have one in a pot in the front that's about 5 years old, gives one flower a year. Um, Had real difficult time with the irises. They all died. I don't know why the irises, but another one dies is the gardenias. Gardenias, two of them going through full plants now. Azaleas are doing well, and they do bloom. So I think it was azalea. Morning glories, I think we planted some of those. The moonflower, and they keep growing the vines, but they have produced flowers. So anyway, we have some deal of white, and so we have some construction, or what I'm calling it, had some creative concepts with that. One is I have a wall fountain, iron wall fountain that's mounted in almost the center of that, which hasn't been working for the longest time because of something else we'll talk about. But anyway, we decided it was all painted black. Most of those things covered black. So that we decided, and let me tell you about some of the other things. We also have a smaller fountain made of um, concrete with a lot of decorations, cherubs, animals, stuff like that. We have some sculpture. We have some lion's heads made out of iron. We have some cast concrete, I believe, or chalk sculptures. One is of I'll say, let's think of a cherub, a richly decorated garb cherub. And then also, I put together two pieces of sculpture. One is a nude male, half torso, and the statue had sculpted of David, the famous. And one reason why I'm telling you, we mounted these in different places in the yard, which is not a big deal. But we've painted them in all these colors, very, very colorful. Some might be garish to you, but and then I had a creative idea for the longest time. I wanted to do my own creation, and I recycled all different types of PVC pipes, and I built a carousel that doesn't revolve instead of concrete, with pipes ranging from 3 to 4 feet up to 10 feet in a clockwise circle, 14, I believe, in various colors, all the way to the tops, and from 10 feet down to 3 or 4 feet circle. In the center of it, we call the niche for. I have a beautiful antique spiral concrete Italian column, Corinthian capital, and we also painted in numerous colors. And then we added what I call the on porches walls, the old homes like mine. They have spindles, balustrades. That's kind of part of the porch. I had a whole bunch, and we used 14 of those to fit in between. We try to color those and put balls of. Anyway, we have a huge in a small area, like 15 by 31 feet. We have these sculptures spread around, as well as some architectural details at the top of the garden done in. These are things that were above lintels, above windows, wooden and carved. And those are so we set up with doing three primary colors. I don't mean primary red, yellow, blue, and green. We chose the color of green, mint green, pastel or phosphorescent pink, and white. And those three colors are the core of the whole backyard. But all these other, we've had colors, blues, purples, lavenders, orange, all these other brilliant colors. We put on these sculptures and fountains to help really bring my vision to light. I can say it's going to be very gaudy or garish for most people, but as someone with failing eyesight like myself can certainly see because of magnificent, the magnificent color. And what we're going to do is that, and lastly, what we're doing and still under construction is I'm calling it a tea house or a tea room. It is actually a rectilinear room that is surrounded by salvaging, recycling window sashes, all glass, paved, and even two French doors with one on each side of the two sides, and some stained glass. So we're hoping that's going to turn out. We're working with the last two sides, and we have to do the roof. And then, of course, finish up the interior. Then hopefully I'll be able to send tea to someone who would like to come. Maybe we'll extend it to an audience member once in a while. I don't want to make it a corporate venture, becoming a commercial venture because they'll kick me out of the neighborhood. Anyway, that'll be fun. So I'm looking forward. Once that's finished, my backyard will be up to my standard. Don't have any grass. Everything's concrete and brick, and we might change the color of the concrete as well. So it's gonna be something. That's all I can say. What we might do is once a week, if the program's audience starts, we might tell you that day, but we'll have a sneak preview, and we will show you a sample of each one of the things that I've just bored you with. Hard to understand what I've just described. So we'll be able to re-describe and show you pictures. I have the pictures already, but it's a little too early now before we actually do it. I want to make sure we're back on regular background. So like I say, it's almost time to sign off. We do appreciate a couple people who checked in, haven't stayed. I understand, but do check in. Um, Go on to R space REVUE and YouTube and look at our other channels if you're not familiar. See which ones you want. Send me a note and we'll activate those again. We're trying to every day. I'm out there soliciting artists. Horrible word, but true. Artists, restaurant chefs, home catering chefs, all these other categories. We haven't started the real estate. We have a couple people in mind to co-host as well as the travel program. We would love to get that back since no one's traveling. We hate to start the program and run out of topics since no one can take advantage of the wonderful opportunity. But those are also the wine show. So everyone loves wine. If we could just get someone to help co-host that would be familiar and interested in coming on, we'd love to bring it to you. Actually do virtual and even interactive tastings. Wouldn't that be fun? All right. Again, we're going to tell you goodbye. Adieu for Sunday. Go Saints. I like the band, but go Saints. Um, Check us out. Send us messages, bob at rreview.net or on any of the social media platforms that I appear. And don't hesitate to, when we're on, to call in when we got the phone working and or do your text comment. Until then, we thank you again very much. We hope some of you appreciate the channel because it's not a lot of hard work, but for an old person, it is. And maybe that's the reason nobody wants it. But even the old, and I guess the old folks, a lot of the old folks don't maybe know how to get to us. Anyway, thank you. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you on the airwaves very soon. Certainly sweet.